Have you ever felt like traditional sales leadership is missing something? Like there's a way better way to inspire or to motivate your team? Listen, you're not alone. But here's the exciting truth. Sales Inception isn't just a sales framework. It can actually be used as a leadership philosophy that can transform your team and your culture and really drive success. And so if you're ready to ditch old school leadership playbooks and embrace a more collaborative, a more customer-centric and growth-oriented approach, it's time to unlock the power of sales inception for your team. What I would say I've seen is the common problems for leadership in sales organizations. And I've spoken about some of this recently. One is the idea that the top seller is the best leader. Now, I do believe a good sales leader has to have the ability to sell. And I don't believe just because you're good at sales that automatically makes you a good leader. Right? So sometimes it's about having the right person at the front, the person that puts the team over the individual, that puts the team's success over their individual success as a salesperson is got to be who that leader really is. And the organization has to be set up in a way to compensate a manager for that. Or a manager is probably the word I don't want to use, a sales leader, right? And so that's one problem I see in the sales industries. Another problem is we think sometimes the culture is just the incentive, the trip, the break room, the foosball table. Like those things aren't actually what creates your culture. It's having a belief that's shared throughout the organization and experiences that are shared throughout the organization. So for example of that, like a lot of organizations have core values and you ask the members of the sales team what those core values are and they have no idea what they are. And so if you have a sales inception mindset, what could be some of those perspectives about your culture could be, hey, we're customer focused or customer centric, or the customer's always first, right? Or we're a team that collaborates, or we're a team that has teamwork, kind of a we over me philosophy. We're dedicated to continuous improvement. We're dedicated to the climb. We're dedicated to the process, right? This idea that you always have to improve in sales. Thinking that you're willing to be innovative and creative, that sales isn't just a cookie cutter approach every time, and it requires some creation and some creativity and people that are willing to think outside the box and willing to challenge the traditional way that things have always been done. So anyways, if those are part of the culture you want to have to talk about those things. It's not that, hey, we have this great trip we go on every year. I've been part of some sales teams with great culture and part of some sales teams with a terrible culture, right? Some of the ones with terrible cultures paid really well and the culture wasn't great. And so people were in and out the door and gone all the time. And if the culture isn't set and your values aren't clear, sometimes you're not going to attract the right salespeople in the first place, or you're going to attract the wrong ones, or you're going to keep the wrong ones and lose the good ones, right? So if we think back to the idea of guiding a client to self-discovery, a good leader should actually be doing the same thing. One, we should be empowering our salespeople. We should empower our salespeople to take ownership of the sales process and really become trusted advisors to their clients. We shouldn't be looking to answer everything for them. Now, we might guide them. We might still want to direct them the right way. I think sometimes as leaders, we're too quick to say, this is how you do it and this is the way to do it. Or when they come to us with a problem, we just give them the answer instead of helping them discover the answer and discovering how to solve their own problems and find their own solutions. And so if you can do that, if you can empower your salespeople, instead of just giving the answer, teaching them how to work through it, then you can start to create some autonomy on your sales team. Create some a a group of creative people and start creating deeper connections with your salespeople and with their clients. Another idea would be helping those develop really develop your own emotional intelligence. So being able to listen to the concerns of your team, understand their motivations and provide support, and know when is it time to lean forward and be supportive, when is it time to challenge them. And easier said than done, right? If we can understand their motivations, what they want, we can do discovery with our reps, our salespeople. That can help us know, okay, what's the best way for me to really lead and guide this person at the end of the day. And look, I really believe if you're a sales leader, you should almost view yourself as a mentor or a coach or a guide for the individuals on your team, right? It's not about doing things for people, or it's not about micromanaging or, creating a task list and looking over their shoulders to make sure they hit every KPI and every number, or breaking apart every single part of a sales call that's recorded. I think it's really about helping them develop their skills, overcome their challenges, and achieve their goals. And then what we do is we provide feedback, we offer support, we create opportunities, we challenge our salespeople to perform and do better. I think the last part is just leading with integrity. You have to do what you say you're going to do. If you want to lose support of your sales organization, say one thing, do the other. And that doesn't mean you have to go out. I'm not saying you've got to go out and if you tell them they got to work a schedule and you're the leader and you have different roles and responsibilities, doesn't mean you have to work the same schedule or have the same KPIs or do the same amount of prospecting. And if you say you're going to do something as a leader, do it. Show up and do it. If you tell a rep you're going to go and help them with something, do it. If you say you're going to do something you can't, correct it. Fix it immediately. Admit a mistake when you make it as a leader. And that's how you show that you have integrity, when you're willing to do the right thing and clean things up when you make a mistake. And so the philosophy of guiding clients to discover that they need to make a change and do something different, that doesn't apply to just the people we sell. That can apply to the people we lead. That can apply to those that are on our sales teams. Like, how do we help them see the changes they need to make? How do we help them see what, if they change their focus on where they're at in their life, it can help them achieve greater results, both with their clients and with themselves. And so really, I believe that selling is a form of leadership. Once again, like, just because you can sell doesn't make you a great leader, and a good leader should be able to sell. They should be able to help those they work with see what they need to change, where they ought to go. They show them how they can get what they want. And that's a good leader. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader. This is your daily dose of Sales Inception.